No, it's not homeschooling, it's home education, okay. Well, that's homeschooling is what they call it in America and then religious circles, okay, right, fine. Okay, let's deal with that. And obviously it's not home education either because everybody is a home education. What I want to ask you today is, why aren't there more dads involved in home education? This is something I've noticed right from the beginning. My eldest daughter is now 18 and she's an adult. As a result, we have been involved in home education for about 18 years now. We're sort of not as involved as we were because obviously the children are grown up and our son went to college early and he's 15, so in a way we're not really involved in it anymore. But one recurring theme that I've noticed, and I don't understand this really, and I'm going to suggest some possibilities as to what's going on in a bit, is that most of the parents involved in home education seem to be the mothers. There are many more mothers involved than fathers. In fact, I get into a situation which is really common in my life, that I end up doing the things that you would normally expect the women to do. Like, for example, I'm a herbalist and 90% of herbalists are women. And, well, there's various other examples, but I can't think of them offhand. But, you know, it does tend to happen a lot. It's a common theme in my life. I have various thoughts about this. One is, first of all, Liz and I, we weren't together for very long before we started to have the children. And so we were able to plan it out and say, well, if they choose not to go to school, then we will be able to cater for that. And as a result, we decided that we were both going to work from home to some extent. There was some flexibility, and that we'd sort of be equal partners in the parenting of the children. So maybe we're lucky. Maybe it's that we didn't end up with the structures that would have forced us to parent in a particular way that other parents have ended up with. I suppose you're more likely to be a single mother than a single father, and as a result, I suppose that if you home educate as a single parent, it's more likely to be the mother doing that than the father. I can see that. But even in situations where people are in a stable heterosexual relationship, it seems to be the mother that does most of the, how to describe it, input? I don't know. I can think of a couple of reasons for that. One is, it's an extension of their role as a mother because they start off being pregnant, breastfeeding, and they follow the continuum into parenting and eventually where other people would send their children to school, being in tune with their children and so forth. But I don't think the fathers are not in tune with their children. That's one thing. Another is that I think that a societal role is forced on parents separately, so that you have the fathers tending to be paid for work that occurs outside the home, whereas mothers tend perhaps to be less likely to be paid for work and for that work to occur within the home. So it's possibly that sort of issue, that the mothers are around and the fathers are not. And another thing which I've noticed, and I really don't get this, is that it seems quite common for fathers to be sceptical of home education. Now that's something I really don't understand, because I don't see where that scepticism comes from. It might come from a lack of contact with the children, or maybe they feel a sense of comfort. They want some sort of structure around them, or maybe they see success in terms of conventional employment. I mean, I'm really not trying to be insulting here. I'm really just curious. So I'm asking you the question, why is it that mothers seem to be spending more time home educating than fathers are? Why are they more involved in home ed? What's that about? Is it a good thing? If it is a good thing, why is it a good thing? If it's not a good thing, what can be done about it to make it more equal or balanced?